Good day, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing for this beautiful Friday, June 15th, 2018?
Get it.
Let's get it.
It's Get It Friday.
It's definitely Get It Friday. Hope your day's going fine, ladies and gentlemen. My day's going good. How's your day going, sir?
Super bueno.
Ooh.
Welcome to the World Cup.
Yes.
I've learned that word.
I'm kind of disappointed right now in the World Cup.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Well, at least they tied.
Yeah, my team hasn't even played yet. At least you tied.
This is true.
You could have lost.
Yeah, that's true. But
you should have won.
Yeah, it sucks because we were up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're picking teams. We picked some teams for World Cup, and I took Spain the other day, and they were up.
Yep.
One goal,
Yep.
A couple minutes
Just
left.
moments ago.
And checked it, and it was tied up. So the game ended in a tie. I don't know what happens after that.
They do play a little bit overtime. Well, they play the injury time, and then I think they play a little overtime, but it's not much. I'm not a soccer expert, but
Right.
it's not long, and it didn't end well for you. So, but a tie is good.
Yeah, it's not a loss.
No, a lot of people have lost, so you're ahead of them.
Okay. All right.
Plus, keep in mind, we have no soccer knowledge of anything.
Nothing.
We just chose two teams.
Yeah.
Just whatever. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Imagine if our teams met in the final.
It could happen.
That could be good.
Stranger things can and have happened.
Yeah, they happen all the time on this show.
This is true. Ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you tuning into another episode of Talking Trends. If this is your first time tuning into our show, let me run things down for you. Myself and Tony find news articles from across the globe, and we bring them to the comforts of your home or wherever you may be listening to this. Unlike a lot of podcasts out there, this is done live. So everybody in the chat right now, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
We want to hear your comments and opinions on our stories that we are going to be covering today. And you may be wondering, TK, what are those stories?
What are those stories?
Well,
Do tell.
here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Up first, pictured here. Coming from the great state of Florida.
There isn't a day that passes we don't have a story out of Florida.
I love it.
And they're all shitty.
Yeah.
right.
This one's very interesting. This guy pictured here, not sure if he was doing a good thing or what.
Doesn't look like you would.
No. Well, he got arrested because he wanted to make sure that his meth was good.
Well, quality control.
This is true.
It's important.
Yeah.
Even with meth.
Yeah. Some student thought it was a good idea to go to school dressed in the KKK uniform today or the other day.
And some teacher approved it. So he obviously thought it was okay too.
I can't even
Not good.
begin.
Not good. We're off to a good start here.
Very good start.
Good start, man. Very positive.
This girl pictured here was fired from her job, disciplined for having acne.
You got to go.
Yeah.
Unless she's a representative for acne, removal, an acne treatment.
No, this is,
All right.
And finally, wrapping up today's stories, this lady went in for breast surgery, and she came out with something that she did not expect.
Two things she did not expect.
Two things that she did not expect.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
I like those things.
Yes, unbelievable, Tony. Unbelievable.
Sorry.
And before we get the show started, we always like to wish our friends and people that we don't know happy birthday. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you or your family member, if you know somebody's celebrating a birthday, more life and happy birthday to them.
Yeah.
And check my celebrities on my phone.
Yeah, you can see who texted you today to let you know it was their birthday.
Happy birthday to my dude, Ice Cube.
The Don Mecca.
Yeah.
49.
Happy birthday to my other friend, Neil Patrick Harris.
Doogie.
Yeah.
45 years
And
old.
what's up, babe? Happy birthday to Courtney Cox.
What's up with your Courtney Cox? I think she's 54.
Hey.
She still look good at 54.
There you go.
Care.
There you go. Just
Good to go.
laying it out there.
Yeah.
Up first, ladies and gentlemen, this interesting story. A man in Florida was arrested after bringing meth to a sheriff's office for testing.
Quality control. You got to keep your meth on top of the game.
Yes, it's true.
You want that good shit.
Yeah. Authorities in Florida say a man called them wanting officers to test a methamphetamine that he illegally purchased because he was under the impression that his meth dealer sold him the wrong drug. You don't want to be tweaking.
Well,
You don't want to be tweaking on the wrong drug, my friend.
you don't want that.
No.
Not from personal experience. We don't know.
No.
But
You just don't want that. It's
You
not a
don't
good
want
scene.
that.
So law enforcement officers say they were only happy to oblige.
I bet they were.
Yeah. Authorities say 49-year-old Douglas Peter Kelly, a resident of Hawthorne, Florida, thought someone sold him the wrong illegal narcotic. On Tuesday, Kelly contacted the sheriff's office and said he purchased methamphetamine about a week earlier and had a bad reaction after smoking the narcotic. The suspect said he believed because of the violent reaction he had after smoking the drug, he was sold the wrong narcotic. Kelly told detectives in the drug unit he wanted the substance tested because he wanted to press charges on the person who sold him the wrong narcotic.
Wow. That makes sense. Was he high when he went?
I want to sue my drug dealer.
Yeah. You got bad shit.
Yeah.
I'm reporting you to the Better Business Bureau and see what happens to you. I'm shutting you down.
So your little operation down, son.
It's over.
Sheriff's deputies then offered to test the narcotic Kelly purchased in an effort to ensure the quality of the drug, of course. Kelly then drove to the sheriff's office and handed detectives a clear crystal-like substance wrapped in aluminum foil. Authorities say that the substance field tested for positive for methamphetamine, which is the drug Kelly said he intended to purchase in the first place.
Nice.
So Kelly was arrested and charged with possession of methamphetamine.
No shit.
The sheriff's office went on to also, get this, invite other individuals wishing to have their drugs tested and bring them to the sheriff's office. Quote unquote, on their Facebook said, "Remember, our detectives are always ready to assist anyone who believes they were misled in their illegal drug purchase."
It's a good campaign. I wonder if that put a line outside the door.
I don't even.
I would love to see if people actually showed up. That'd be great.
Now,
that'd be great.
First thing,
yeah.
Not sure what the outcome this individual is expecting.
Well, you know, you never know. I mean, I'm assuming he was under the influence when he went in there.
Well, he drove to the police station.
Well, people drive when they're under the influence.
I suppose.
You know what I mean? Could be possible.
I don't know what it's like driving under the influence of meth.
I wouldn't know. I would not know. Every time I've been under the influence, I've not been driving.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm usually just whatever.
Relax in a corner somewhere.
I'm on the floor. Yeah. You know, I like to be in a crack house. It's usually my place to be. That's my chill zone.
And wake up in a nice, comfy hospital bed. You know.
Yeah. Well, listen, he cares about the quality of his meth. You know, you get the shitty end of that stick because he was arrested. But
hey, you know what? I'm kind of with you because you know what? Maybe he's also trying to save the lives of other drug users.
True.
In a kind of serious note, in a weird way, ladies and gentlemen, you know, because I mean that ultimately does cost taxpayers more money, and it is more strenuous on the health system if you have a couple tweakers coming into the hospital. Sorry, I should stop saying that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that.
People who overdose going into the hospital. Right. I mean, you know, if people want to get high, they should of course get the drug that they intended on getting high with.
The good, yeah.
The good.
Okay. Yeah, so you're buying the right stuff.
So this guy's kind of like
he's an advocate.
Yeah,
for good quality meth, because you don't want that bad quality.
Yeah,
meth.
He's an ambassador.
I wonder what he got before.
I don't know. Well, he said it wasn't. He said he planned on suing them. So remember, he did plan on suing them if it wasn't meth.
Love to see that go to court. That would be great.
You know what, though? Sad thing is, I bet you there's crazier things that go through the court system than this.
We've seen them. We've heard about them. We've read about them.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be too... In Florida, anything goes.
Yeah.
Like, you can sue for anything in Florida, apparently.
There was a couple people mad in the comments when I read this story. They were saying he shouldn't have gotten arrested. He should have perhaps maybe been taken to a mental rehab or some sort of mental health institution to help him with his addiction.
Right.
Now, of course, when he's arrested, I'm sure he's going to have a record. He'll probably have to deal with court proceedings, potential lawyer fees, and everything else incurs when you go to court for dealing with this kind of presumptuous situation.
Not good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen, you can't. You know, in these situations, you have to laugh. The cop must have been the first cop he ran into must have just lost. He must have just been like, is this really happening right now?
Like, yo, pinch me.
Did you really just put this on my table and you want me to test the meth?
Am I on meth right now? That's what I'm asking.
Am I on meth really right now? This is what's happening. Am I getting punked right now?
Also, if I was him, if I was in his shoes, I would be like, hey, I found this.
Right.
I just want to make sure I found this in my neighborhood or my doorstep or whatever. Just try and like clear your hands of it completely. I was protecting the kids in the neighborhood. I just want to make sure what this is so I can let them know.
Right.
That's what he should have did. He should have made it a little bit more anonymous.
Did they test it and then he asked for it back?
Well, I don't know if he asked for it back, but
it's good. Okay, can I?
Well, they tested they tested the drug for him, and it was meth. So he gave it to them. So he was under possession of meth.
Right.
So he's been
So automatically, even if he found it on the street,
well, how's that happen?
You're in possession of it.
Or I guess you could call the cops and be like, "Hey, there's a bag." And
I mean,
what do you do in that situation? Do you just call the cops, or do you bring it in like a good Samaritan, like this gentleman?
Well, I'm assuming that anyone who had meth probably wouldn't give it up.
No,
because they want it. So if you just came in and said, "Listen, I found this," they'd probably believe you, because nobody in the right mind would give away the meth that they just purchased for their personal use. But I could be wrong. This guy came in and said, "Test it for me." I'm just surprised he expected them to give it right back to him. You must have some wits about you in that situation.
Let's put this guy's picture back up for a sec, because I think at this moment he's probably known he just made a little bad. He made a bad mistake.
I think his look in his eyes,
there's a little regret in his eyes,
tells us a little story.
Yeah,
and he won't be doing that again, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so. When he gets out of the clink.
Yeah. Well, I hope he gets the help he needs. I hope they put him into some sort of. I hope they don't sue this or charge this guy with too many charges. I hope he gets.
Well, I mean, if it's only a small possession, like if it's a small,
he's not trafficking it.
Nah, he's probably a citation, man. He's not going to go do any time for that. Although in Florida, anything's possible.
Shouts out to Florida for keeping the hits coming.
He's doing time right now. He's doing like 10 to 20.
You guys are like 50 Cent on the charts. Just hit after hit.
Hit after hit.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, interesting story. Again, good old America. The land of the free, where it's okay to go to school, apparently, dressed up in the KKK uniform.
Racism. It's alive and well.
Yeah.
This is, look at me getting FaceTime calls with my kid. I'm on the show. Look at these guys.
I love it.
All right. So, interesting. A student who showed up up to high school. Look, keeps calling me. Look, I should take this call. Showed up at high school dressed as a Ku Klux Klan member. Did so as a part of an assignment, reportedly with the advance approval of his teacher. So, still in the head-to-toe costume. If you guys haven't seen it before,
I'm smelling a racist teacher amongst us. Amongst us.
In the head-to-toe costume, complete with the infamous hood and a white fabric mask with 2 holes for eyes, sparked outrage when classmates saw the student outside the history class at Arbor Teacher Preparation Academy in California. So now we're going Florida, we're going California. Oh. California's no better, see?
No.
Then learned the outfit was teacher sanctioned. So, quote, it kind of rattled me. It was hard to believe that the teacher would allow a Klansman to walk around with her approval. So we asked her, and she compared the Klan to the Black Panther Party.
Great. They're clearly the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Which in my opinion are 2 different things.
Yeah, KKK, clearly terror organization.
Spreading hate.
Preserving white supremacy, and I believe Black Panthers were trying to help the systematically oppressed and help those who were abused by police. But whatever. To each their own, ladies and gentlemen.
Not good. Another senior at the school was quoted saying, "I'm honestly questioning why she would think that it was okay. I mean, sure, he was a historical figure, the person the assignment was based on, but is it really a historical figure when you're roaming around the school? It's not right," she says. "Makes me feel unsafe and threatened."
I'm going to come on the show as Hitler on Monday.
Yeah, get a little mustache on there?
Yeah.
The costume was a part of the freshman's final history project, which focused on former KKK leader Hiram Wesley Evans, noting students chose their historical figures. So the students actually picked out the figures they get to write about. The school student body is 96% minority. That's a high amount of minority in the school.
Right.
The Los Angeles Unified School District is investigating the incident. A district spokeswoman told CNN in a statement that also called the costume insensitive and highly inappropriate. The LA Unified and Harbor Teacher Preparation Academy understood the extreme sensitivity around the issue and do not condone or support this type of reenactment. We apologize to the LA Unified community. The teacher doesn't say anything about what happened to the teacher. So I'm assuming there was nothing happened there in that situation. You know what? I don't know. This is a little fucked up, I think. You know, I would be afraid. If I knew the school had such a high amount of diversity, number one, I wouldn't show up to school in that outfit because you may not make it out alive.
Just in general, even that's just a bold move in any regard. But you know what?
In any situation.
I mean, again, it's kind of like, do you blame the Donald Trump era for kind of bringing out a lot of people who feel a little bit more comfortable in their skin now to come out on who they are and what
you mean the
really,
racists to come out?
Yeah, the racists to feel because I mean, there's been a lot. We've been covering a lot more stories this year, and coincidentally, under the Donald J. Trump presidency,
yes.
So a lot of people are now feeling a lot more comfortable to be as who they are.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that every era, every generation seems to have. We always have racist problems. That's
Yeah, this is true.
no doubt. But yeah, maybe the Trump presidential.
It's like over
eras,
the top, though. Over top.
Maybe
racist.
a little more, making them feel a little more comfortable. They could walk around a little more free.
Yeah, we got to.
You know what I mean?
Put a bed sheet over me.
Yeah, you got to be like, well, you know, it ain't that time now. You
Yeah.
can't go back 400 years. It's not that time.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I think this falls partially on the teacher.
I think a lot on the teacher.
I think mainly on the teacher.
I was thinking when you were telling the story,
Yeah.
why was this like? What kind of project was this?
It was pick a historical figure.
Right.
Right. So this was the historical figure that he chose.
Could I be like, no, you're not doing this because you're giving too much. You didn't think this was going to give too much attention towards it. And what do we say about people like, you know, it's kind of hard comparing the two between like the people who do mass shootings and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think you're giving too much attention to the wrong kind of people you're doing projects on. Though be it, I get it, like this person's a part of history, but I don't know.
Not a good part.
Not a good part of history.
You know what I mean? And the fact that he chose, of all historical figures you could have chose, this is the one he chose. That goes to your character. So you're a racist, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Or are you? Or did you just want to stir the pot?
This kid,
I don't know.
I feel bad for the kid, and I feel bad for his parents.
Nah, well, you don't know. Maybe the parents are the ones behind it. You don't know.
This is true. but
Racism is, you're not born into it, man.
No. Yeah.
Right? So, I mean,
I feel bad for them, though. 'Cause
well, I feel bad for them,
They just
too.
don't know better.
well, it's ignorance, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, the teacher, I think the teacher's got to take the blame on this one.
I agree.
You know, and should have probably said something in this, you know, in this article. She knows he's going to show up in this outfit. Good Lord, man. The kid could have been seriously injured.
Yes.
Like, the student body could have turned against this guy and really went at him.
This could have went very violent.
This could have been very, very... God forbid the kid could have passed away as a result of being mobbed.
Yeah.
96% minority in the school? Listen, I don't want them fucking odds. I do not want them odds.
Too spicy for me, my friend.
That's a little too tasty right there.
Yeah.
So anyway, it could have been worse, but the teacher's got to take blame on this. Like, how do you approve that situation?
They are the figure of responsibility in the classroom. So this was it she?
She's the teacher, yes.
She has to ultimately take the blame, I think, for even allowing this, because usually with projects, the ones that that I've done, you usually submit, be like, hey, is it okay if I do a project on so and so? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Or just to make sure you're not duplicating, I'm not doing the same person that you're doing.
Yeah.
So there should have been some quality control from the teacher, first of all, and letting this child or kid not be able to do this. So yeah, I think this falls solely on the teacher, mostly. And then of course for the kid just being like thinking this was a good idea. And again, it kind of begs the question, how is this kid being raised at home?
I mean, it's interesting because you could be, I mean, the kid could make an argument. You know what I mean? Like if he didn't come dressed as he was dressed, but if he would have done the project on this individual, because reporting history, you should report all sides of history.
Right.
Like even though you're not glorifying this guy, but you can say, listen, this is the shit that he was doing.
Exactly.
This is what he was spreading. It would actually expose, you know, the KKK more. Maybe the young people now don't know as much as they should know. This might, you know, maybe put it out there a bit more so people would be like, oh shit, they were doing that and doing this and doing
Which
that.
I agree with. But this is glorification
Take
to the
hoodie
max.
off, baby. Take the hood off.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be.
That is not coming across well.
yeah.
That's not helping your case, my man. And you got to go back to that same fucking school tomorrow. What you gonna do now?
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be,
would move.
Yeah,
You might want to move to a.
you're lucky it's kind of coming towards the end of the school year.
Yeah, you might want to take the last few weeks off.
Yeah,
Just stay home.
just a little advice.
It's over. Just don't even do it, man.
Right.
Anyway, people who didn't take it off is the people that joined us today.
Hey.
Let's take a look at who joined us.
Thank you, ladies and
They didn't
gentlemen.
slack out. They didn't think it's a sunny day. They want to sit on a patio. Maybe you are on a patio and you're watching us. Anyway,
I know.
double bonus points.
Yes.
Who joined us? Kathy's joining us with us today. Jeanette, Joe, Julie, Charlie, Cassandra, Devin's in the house. Luke, Rewind, Bishop in the house. Carrie, Holly's in the house. Steph, Karen, who else? Jonathan Cromwell, you're late, brother, but you're here. I like that. Rachel, Christina, and Brian in the house. Thank you guys for joining us today. That was a lot of whatever you were
I was
doing.
just doing kisses and highs.
I saw the wave you had there, yeah.
I was just doing a bunch of everything. I'm not sure you could take it all, ladies and gentlemen.
Kate Britton's in the building. Brian Borden in the house.
Shouts out.
Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do really appreciate you tuning into the show. Again,
Yes.
if you're unable to tune in to it live, we highly suggest finding us on iTunes. Just type in Talking Trends, and then if you see our logo, give it a little subscribe and rate the show.
Yeah.
That's all we ask.
We love that.
And if you see that little link in the description, that's the link to our YouTube page, so you can hit subscribe on that too.
Oh, check that out.
All right, up to our next story. Halfway through the show, ladies and gentlemen, this one's a doozy. So again, I want you guys to get comfortable for wherever you are. Get back,
Comfortable.
Roll back in your seat, get the shoulders relaxed, or you can slouch forward, whatever your preference. Whatever's
Bad posture.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So pictured here, ladies and gentlemen, this 15-year-old was devastated when her coffee shop boss gave her a written warning for her acne.
Whoa.
Yeah, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's see what's up with this story.
It's story time. Emily McNamara thought her employer at Imposta Coffee in Lancashire
Nice.
was joking when she received a Facebook message about her skin. The note from Mrs. Scott, the business owner, warned her about unacceptable marks on the neck, and she said she would be sacked on the spot if they were visible again.
This is acne we're talking, not a hickey.
It goes on, my friend.
Oh, do it
I
up.
will, and your questions will be answered.
I like it.
It also accused her of being hungover when she turned up to work one morning, even though she had spent the previous evening with her grandmother. Ladies and gentlemen,
Maybe her mother's a drinker.
she's 15.
Grandmother.
She's 15
Oh, okay.
years old. Okay, let's. I'm going to keep throwing out little facts at you.
It's not looking good for her.
So she had only worked 10 hours at her new job when she said she received a shocking message. It knocked her confidence down, and she decided to ultimately resign. Okay. Her mother said, "I'm gutted for her." When Emily got the message, she said, "This has to be a wind-up." It was shocking that the accusations that were so ridiculous, it just didn't seem real. Mrs. Scott, again the coffee shop owner, showed little sympathy for the teen, branding her pathetic. And insisting she did turn up to work hungover. Like she was on it that this 15-year-old showed up to work hungover. She says the marks on Emily's neck looked like love bites. And that's what they call them in the UK. But over here, I believe we call them little hickeys.
Little hickey dicky.
Yeah. So it's just silly, to be honest. I gave her a word of warning, and they posted it all over Facebook. Referring to the claim her daughter was hungover one day, she said, this is the mother now, this is accusing me of handing my 15-year-old daughter into work under the influence of alcohol. So the next morning, she dropped her daughter off at work, and she's like, listen, my daughter's not drunk. So anybody would think that would be not acceptable. I know the owners, if they thought that my daughter turned up under the influence of alcohol at work, why say it later, and why not contact them? So the mother's saying, in that moment, if you think my daughter's under the influence, why don't you send her home instead of getting her to work the entire day, or give me a call so I can pick her up?
Good point. Yeah.
Right. So the mother's just like, there you go.
Point.
A little stab. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you may be wondering what the message was that the boss sent to Emily. So here it goes. Hi, Emily. I'm writing to inform you that I was very concerned in your appearance and performance in work last week. Coming into work with marks on your neck and under the influence of alcohol is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. I'll accept from now on that when you come into work, you should be clean and presentable at all times. This place is for business. Also, you need to concentrate more, as I noticed you have made a lot of mistakes which ended up being making produce being overcooked and wasted. This cannot happen, and it ends in the waste of stock and loss of profit. You need to be more responsible and use initiative, especially in busy times, as the shop gets very busy very quickly. This is a warning, but as the next time you will be sent home and terminated on the spot. So that was from the owner.
Boom.
So Emily She replied, and this is what Emily said. She said, "I wasn't under the influence of alcohol, ? And I am concerned as to why you're assuming that I was. I was with my granny Friday night and Saturday morning, and the mark on my neck you're referring to, I'm assuming is either acne or dry skin, in which I take medication for."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, considering I was not confronted about this mark at the time, I'm unable to clarify exactly what it was. I am clean and presentable at all times. I understand your concerns, but I would be appreciative if you had addressed them to my face rather than sending a Facebook message almost a week later. And that's one. I'll stop it right there. I'm just gonna put a little.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one thing that made me kind of mad about jobs in general. When there's a problem, why is it ever like they never address it the moment it happens? You usually find out days later, and in this case, a week later.
Right.
So it's just like at that point, it's just like, who is to remember what the hell you're even talking about in the first place?
Yeah.
I mean, it causes a divide between the owners, managers, and supervisors. I think in this case, when that happens to certain individuals, you kind of break the trust in the workflow between you guys. If you're just going to bring up random things from that happened a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the best thing ever is just nip it in the bud as quick as you can and come to a conclusion and work for a positive outcome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Do it right then and there, yeah.
Just do it then, so everybody's on the same page and nobody's confused, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially with these allegations of being drunk.
Yeah, 15-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, right? So, anyway, her reply continues. You state that you're running a business, but this message hardly seems businesslike. I'm sorry if I made mistakes, but considering it was only my second week and I'm still learning, I don't see a major concern. I've been trying to use the initiative and be responsible, but I have minimal training and have done my best. Issuing warnings over Facebook, I'm not really comfortable with. And to be honest, I'm not comfortable with your message at all. I won't be returning Saturday or any Saturday after that. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you find a suitable candidate soon.
Whoa.
So
she said, take this job, pound it.
You take this job and stuff it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah, I like it. I'm like,
I like that.
I nip it in the bud at the time. If you're a business owner or, manager, supervisor, and you're responsible for workers, and if you have a problem with a couple employees, just pull them aside and just be like, hey, what's up? I mean, especially if you think they're drunk.
Well, you got to be careful. You can't assume things.
No.
Because if you assume something and then let's say she goes and files for wrongful dismissal and has evidence to rebut everything that you're saying, that she wasn't drunk, that she does have medication that she's taken for whatever she's going on in her neck, like then you look like the guy who just a mean boss and just fired somebody wrongfully. So don't assume things, like you said. Go and address it right away. If you think she's hungover right there, then go talk to her. Say, are you hungover? Are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Or do it in a way, obviously, so that she doesn't get too upset. But I mean, because you could offend somebody. But I mean, attack it right there. Because if it comes back to get you later on, I mean, you could lose your job, you could lose your business. Bad press gets around. And I'm sure this has already. And this is
picking up heat already.
I mean, just address it right away and don't assume anything.
No, exactly. Unless if you're a dermatologist and you know what acne looks like 100%, then it's safe to make the call of probably what it is. But, again, just, politely just say, hey, or just go up. There's better ways of doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Communication. Proper communication.
Was it a coffee shop you worked at?
It was a coffee shop.
Yeah, he's probably not a dermatologist.
I don't think so.
Or just out of work one. But, I mean, yeah, you're right. Do it. Just attack it right away, people.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many jobs and friends of I know that this has happened where they've got written up, and the letter would come like weeks later,
right?
And just be like, oh, you've done this and done that, and just like,
yeah, you were working there the whole time, yeah.
It's just I don't get this. So,
boy. Well, at least she had the pride to just say, listen, I'm out of here.
She probably, this didn't seem like a very good workplace to work. I mean, she's already caught. Like, I'm not saying that all 15-year-olds have never, like a couple 15-year-olds out there probably never showed up to work loaded or drunk or.
Well, we don't know.
Who knows? I'm sure there's a handful out there.
Maybe she got loaded with grandma.
Dude, who knows?
I don't know.
Grandma likes to drink. It's all good.
She get a drink on.
A little wine, red wine.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But
listen,
I think there wasn't enough evidence, I think, for her to make these accusations, especially towards a 15-year-old.
Exactly, and the whole age thing, of course.
Yeah.
She probably got another job by now anyway.
I think it's, again, usually with these stories and the circumstance of this story, I guarantee there's probably a coffee shop that have already probably reached out and be like, hey, we'll hire you.
Drunk or not.
Yeah, you can come in drunk.
You can drink right here.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. My granny drink.
Yeah. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the last story of the day.
Yep.
Tony, take it away.
Well, I like boobs, and
oh god.
Anyway, sorry.
That's how you're starting this one.
No. But I do. UK woman sued a hospital after a doctor allegedly gave her breast implants without her consent, following a double how do you say this?
Mastectomy.
Mastectomy.
Yes.
My bad. Right.
Okay, close enough.
Donna Finnegan White, 44 years old, says she woke up from the procedure at Great Western Hospital in England, October, and was angry to find that she had suddenly had breast implants.
Yes.
Plus, she said that the artificial implants were larger than the ones she would have selected if given the chance. So she had some big knockers put on her.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when someone goes through this procedure, it's the removal of breast tissue.
Yes.
Usually, when I think in her case, she had cancer.
Yes.
And so, anyway, the removal, I'm assuming, of her, it was a double mastectomy.
Yes.
So, a double mastectomy, they were probably removing a lot of tissue from both breasts. Yep. And she
walked out with bigger ones.
She walked out with new boobs. But anyway.
She said that the implants led to swelling and extreme pain, along with a significant psychological reaction due to the unexpected procedure. Yeah, I can see that happening. You wake up and you're not expecting it, and there you go. Yeah. To complicate matters, Finnegan White, she's unable to get the implants removed for 4 months. And when she finally was able to, she developed a life-threatening blood clot that required an additional surgery.
Oh, wow.
She said, quote, "I feel totally let down and angry by the care I received. I suffered a great deal of pain and trauma for months because the implants that I never signed up for." Finnegan said that she elected to undergo a double I can't even say it.
Mastectomy.
Mastectomy?
Yeah, there we go. Mastectomy.
With support from her doctors because she had a high risk of developing. So she had a high risk of developing breast cancer. It was in her family.
Yes.
Her mother had it. The disease was successfully treated for it at age 50 with her mother, while her aunt died of breast cancer also at the age of 50. So that's why she underwent the surgery, of course.
Right.
So yeah, she's suing them, rightfully so. This is crazy. I don't know, man. This is like, usually people pay a lot of money to get breast implants. And in this case, she's obviously taking the measures to avoid breast cancer because it runs in her family. And yeah, come off the table, and next thing you know, how do you make that mistake?
Here's the thing.
What the hell is that?
And I literally just wrote that down. So there's a couple things going on here. The psychology of it all. Yep. One, I mean, I can't imagine going for that surgery as a female and, going through that whole situation and losing your breasts.
Yeah.
For one, and then you're waking up and you're going through the steps in your head on how to go back to normal life with you're missing
right,
you've had most of your life.
Totally.
And then to wake up and you're like, what the hell are these?
Yeah.
Double D's on you. Yeah, or whatever the guy put on her. I can't imagine mentally what that has done to her. Also, I don't know. Again, I'm not a surgeon. I just don't know if the procedure would be like, okay, we're going to do this surgery and then immediately we're going to give you boobs.
Yeah.
Like right now. Like you would have thought there would be a healing process. Yes. And then a consultation be like, hey, would you like some breasts later? Because we can do this. Instead of just removing the boobs and now you have some fake boobs afterwards.
I would love to know what the doctor's response to all this was.
And that's another thing. I don't think it was a mistake.
No, I don't think it was either.
Because usually we've heard and we've covered surgery stories where surgeries like, someone made a mistake on the chart notes and, have amputated the right leg instead of the left one, or done this instead of that, and operated on this when you should have operated on that, where it is a mistake. But this is like...
But dude, here's the thing. It's not just the doctor in those rooms. It's usually like a team of people.
Right.
Nobody on the team knew what the hell was going on.
Someone should have said, be like, I don't recall seeing this other procedure on here.
Is nobody reading the chart? Like, unless somebody wrote it down wrong, and maybe they should be going after that. Maybe the doctor's not to blame. Maybe he's reading the thing going, okay, this is what the deal is.
Well, I think whoever the surgeon is ultimately because the surgeon is the doctor as well. And they going in, they usually do a little review of.
They should probably make sure.
And they talk to you, I think, before you go in.
I know. Like, there's so much before you get sliced open. There's a lot of conversations happening.
There's reasons on why a lot of this doesn't usually happen. But when it does, you're kind of mystified when it does. And yeah, I mean, this person, I'm assuming, could potentially lose their license to practice.
Oh, I think it should be probably gone by now.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. And also on top of the poor woman had to sit with these things for 4 months. Through the pain and anguish of these things. I mean, she had 4 months that she couldn't even get the surgery. And it caused a blood clot, which required more surgery.
Which she could, and then she could have ultimately died from as well.
I think payday is coming up.
There is a huge payday coming her way. I mean, it's unfortunate what she had to go through to get this, potential payday. Totally. But I mean, goddamn, doctors, surgeons, just double check. And ladies and gentlemen, even just double check with, if you're going to get something done, just double check with whoever you're dealing with.
You guys go to school for a long time. You probably should know your shit by the time you get out. What are you in there for, like 10, 12 years?
At least. And then you specialize in something that could be longer.
You played yourself. Just get it together, doctors.
Oy!
Yep.
Yeah, I can't imagine going for surgery and then, waking up and being like, the hell? Like, I didn't, whatever I'm going in for surgery for.
Yeah.
And just not what to expect. Like, what you expected wasn't done.
Yeah.
Or was done.
The opposite.
And it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, here's something else.
It's like I'm going in to fix a broken bone and you break my bone.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That doesn't seem right.
So,
anyway, what does seem right is what's happening this weekend.
Oh, daddy.
It's super right and it's super good.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. If you've never been, I encourage you to come to one. And this one would be the one because you know what? It's supposed to be really nice this Saturday. Gonna have a great evening. So anyway, what I'm talking about is a night that myself and DJ IV do called Bump and Grind, where we dedicated it to basically 90s R&B all night. There's a little 2000 stuff we sneak in there to keep it real familiar, but for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, it's 90% 90s R&B.
Yeah.
No crazy rap, no trap. It's just smooth jams all night long from 10 to 2 a.m. We're thankful that it's a really popular night. Everyone's been pretty much sold out, I think. And without the exception of this one, I can't imagine this one's probably going to be crazy, just judging from the Facebook event alone. So, I mean, if you're looking for something to do this Saturday, come on out down to Line and Bright early.
P.S. Be there early.
When I say
don't get to the door, start texting your boy over here. I can't get in the fucking door. Be there at 10 o'clock, motherfuckers.
I can't. We stopped guest list over a year ago because it's just too much. Can't do it. I can't keep going in and out and letting people in and in front of the lines. It just looks bad, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, get there early. And I mean, when I say get there early, like get there before 11.
Yeah, or like 10:30 is ideal.
Yeah,
like don't go after that.
Anything after that, you're probably going to be waiting in a line.
Yeah, and you may not get in.
Yes,
because the cap isn't super big.
It's not a big space, which we like, but yeah.
Good vibe, but you get there early. Just go have your dinner. Yeah. Right after your dinner, creep on over there.
You don't got to get plastered at your house till like 12 o'clock drinking.
Yeah. Can you have dinner there?
You can have dinner there,
too. You just have dinner there and then go, and you're already there.
Yeah, with a couple of friends, book a table, have some dinner.
Problem solve.
Go there like 8:30.
Yeah.
Finish around 10.
Yeah.
Let that food finish sitting, digesting through the system.
Then boogie the night away.
And then dance that food off.
Should be good.
Yeah, it's usually a good time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction.
No. And it wouldn't steer you guys in the wrong direction with the World Cup. Lots of things happening. 4 games tomorrow, so if you guys are keeping up with it, France and Australia, Peru and Denmark, Argentina and Iceland, and also Croatia and Nigeria. So a bunch of games going on. World Cup is in full swing, people.
Yeah.
It's all good. And Father's Day, Sunday.
Ooh, daddy.
All you daddies out there.
Yeah, shouts out to the daddies.
All you shout out daddies.
Yeah.
Sunday. Have a good Father's Day for all you good daddies out there.
Yeah, may you be taken well care of.
Yeah, veg out and do nothing but watch golf and soccer on Sunday.
Get the kids to do your chores. You know, take out the trash.
Yeah.
Organize the compost.
Cook me a burger or something. Yeah. Organize the compost.
Paint the house.
Mow the lawn. Yeah, all kinds of shit.
Mow the lawn.
Like the biggest list. Yeah. So enjoy that, people.
Make love to your significant other or what have you, or just whatever.
P.S. We're coming up to an anniversary ourselves next week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep you guys posted on that too. So we got to figure out what to do to celebrate.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're 2 shows away from 100.
So Tuesday will be our 100th episode.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
I don't know how we got here either.
We'll figure it out, and we'll also figure out how to celebrate, and hopefully spread the word for that show, will you? Let's try to get them numbers way up for the 100th.
Yeah, let's get a bunch of people in the chat for that one.
Yeah. But no matter what you guys are doing, be safe this weekend.
Yeah.
And we will see you back here Monday.
Yeah.
And we hope everybody else comes back. So we'll see you then. Be safe. Have fun this weekend.
Yes. Don't bring any illicit drugs to the police.
Try not to do that. If you can avoid it, go to Bump and Grind and wish your father a happy Father's Day.
Yes.
And that's all.
We out, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one.
Peace.
Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Talking Trends. If you like the show, please subscribe below.